Hi everyone, it's me Leslie here with another video. Thank you so much for watching my video and thank you so much for subscribing. Today I'm doing a storytime discussion to talk a little bit about how it's important to show respect for others in the same way that we would want others to respect us. So recently I saw some road rage and I wanted to share the story and just kind of talk about that a little bit. So recently I witnessed some road rage on a very large interstate. And what happened was there was like a huge truck on the interstate, and the huge truck was in a farther left lane, and they wanted to get into their right lane, into the right-hand lane. They had their signal light on. The area was clear. So they were beginning to get over to the right when all of a sudden an SUV darted from farther back and sped into the lane that the truck was right about to get into, and they cut off the truck. The truck honked their horn, and the person in the SUV didn't like that the truck honked their horn, and so they quickly sped up, got in front of the truck, and brake checked the truck to the point where I thought that there was going to be an accident. But luckily, the truck reacted quickly and hit their brakes. Horns were honking left and right. And I thought that there was going to be a huge accident, but luckily there wasn't. And I'm not really sure what the person in the SUV's problem was. But what I do know was, whatever it was, they were being disrespectful, they were being rude, inconsiderate, and they could have caused a huge accident. It was like 5:30. It was like 5:30 in the afternoon. It was sometime at a very busy time in the afternoon. There were a lot of cars. There was a lot of traffic, and things could have gone so much worse than what they were. Luckily, it just was a brief incident with those two vehicles. The truck that was trying to get over and the SUV that was, whoever was driving the SUV was being extremely rude, disrespectful, and inconsiderate. And taking a step back from that incident and just kind of looking at the two individual vehicles and thinking what could have been done differently. And obviously the SUV had no right to, or had no business trying to pass the truck while it was getting into the right-hand lane. The signal light was on. They had started to get over, but the SUV was impatient. The person in the SUV was impatient. They didn't want to wait. And I'm bringing up this story because the person in the SUV, for some reason, felt slighted, felt like they were disrespected when the truck honked the horn because of the wrongdoing that the SUV did. And thinking about that scenario and situation, I hope you all are following it, because it's a little, I think it sounds a little bit confusing. But the reality of what happened was the person in the SUV was being extremely disrespectful. And I'm sure if that person in the SUV wanted to get over, say, into their right lane, and somebody cut them off in the same way, they would have been angry. And I'm telling this story because I think that too often these days, people will not think twice about being rude to a fellow citizen. They won't think twice about being rude to a fellow citizen. However, they refuse to accept somebody being equally rude to them. And what I'm saying in this video, and what I've said in a lot of videos, is that do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you want people to be respectful and give you the courtesy of niceties and being polite and respectful on the road, you be respectful and polite to them on the road. You want somebody to respect your property, you respect their property. If you want somebody to respect your body, you respect their body, and so on. But so many people want the righteous thing and the respectful thing done to them, but they don't see that they're not doing the righteous and respectful thing to others and for others. People want respect for themselves, but they don't want to respect others. People want to ignore the ugliness that they are bringing to a situation, but they don't want anyone to bring any ugliness to their situation. They want to be treated with respect, while they have no problem with others being treated extremely disrespectfully. And I'm saying here in this video, it's so important for all of us to keep in mind that we have a place in society, and in this society, it is one of our jobs is to be respectful to our fellow citizen, our fellow human. Our job is to treat others with the respect that we want for ourselves. And if we don't have any respect for ourselves, it is still important to treat others respectfully, because that's not their problem if we refuse to give ourselves respect. This is our job. This is one of our jobs, one of our many jobs as a human being, to show respect for ourselves and show respect for others. If we want respect, if we want things done a certain way, it's important for us to also give that respect. Do unto others as we would have them do unto us, unto ourselves. One of our jobs is to try to live righteously. One of our jobs is to try to be a good person. And especially as a parent, my job is to try to be a decent person, and also to try to teach my children how to be a decent person. So that's where I'll end this video today. Show respect for ourselves. Try and show respect for others. Of course, if we are disrespectful to others, maybe they will retaliate. Of course. So that's why it's so important to try to learn how to ourselves have good behavior, good manners. And perhaps we'll get different results from people if we show them courtesy and respect. Perhaps we'll get better results in life if we treat others decently, like we want ourselves to be treated. So that's where I'll end this video today. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.